right, well, it's bright and early in the morning. I don't have my mic on. I mean, we're right in the car, right? We don't really need to. As you can see, I got a bunch of shit in the back there. Just heading up to the old Pa's house. We're gonna be rebuilding his deck or putting a deck on over top of the deck, or I don't know. We're gonna be doing something. Bringing some tools just to make sure we get it done. I'm running a little bit behind, right? But I am my mom's son, so I guess I'm my dad's son too, but I don't know. Who cares, right? Anyway, gonna boot my way up there and I'll get back at you when I get in there and then we'll get going. All right, we've arrived at the Dawes house here. Let's take a look at the before maneuver. So it's the deck there, right there beneath me on the ground there. That's the deck. It's got some stains, got some uglies, got some maneuvers that we're not quite liking, right? So what we're gonna be doing is replacing all this stuff and putting some good stuff on there. Probably making some mistakes along the way, but hopefully, oh, the leg came off camera again. Hopefully not too many mistakes anyway. So this stuff's coming off. That stuff's coming off down there. This thing's probably gonna stay in the way, and then the railing or something, right? Who knows? Anyway, I'll get back at you once we get started.
So originally, I had thought...
Did it hurt?
We would put these boards on first. And then had a thought, if I put these boards on first, we're not going to be able to get the piece cut off of there.
Probably not.
So we have to do all the cutting across first.
Well, first we should see if we can take her off from in the middle, right?
Well, let's start with that then.
By the way, this is the Papa-Hoon right there. He's responsible for all the madness that you've seen the last 30 years. I mean, you can thank him after, or maybe not. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Whoever's watching, probably just mom. But yeah, so we're down here. Next step, going back up. But this is going to be replaced there. We're going to check out what's behind there. Obviously, there's all sorts of rotting and other such things we got to deal with. And then hopefully, when we're done, it's going to be looking good, right? So begins the adventures of two greasy old LARPenters, live action role-playing carpenters, for those of you who don't know. As you can see here, we started off by removing the warped siding and weathered paper from the dividing wall there. Then we pulled out an ungodly amount of staples to remove the particle board from the lower covering, the lower of the wall or something, or maybe nothing. Camera angle was a bit off there, but we got her, right? We got her eventually. Leave it up to two fully grown men not to move the barbecue out of the way, just make things a lot more difficult for themselves, right? Instead of just taking the like 10 seconds it would have taken to take it off the deck, they just sit there and they work around it until almost noon, guys. It was almost noon by the time we figured this out, right? While removing the deck boards there, we encountered a bunch of problems, namely being that the deck boards are like 20 to 40 or maybe 90 years old. The screws in there were buried underneath folded over layers of dust and dirt and debris, which made it really difficult. We had to dig each one of them out before we could unscrew them and take them out of there, right? So that was fun. In addition to that, we didn't even figure that we should take the railing off at all until later on in the day either, right? As you can see here, I spent a lot of the day just bent over. Ended up with just the gnarliest plumber's crack sunburn. Like, we're talking 2nd degree burns here, guys. Big old tramp stamp. All right, checking in middle of the day. Been working away. It's rhyming. Wish I could do that all the time. Anyway, checking in here. We got some of the boards down there. These guys, they're not secured yet, but they're gonna be. We ended up being able to take this guy off here too. You'll see on the time lapse if I put it on there. Got that guy cut out. He's gonna be going bam like that, and that's gonna be looking good. We're sweating, working hard, but
Tell them about we had to cut the screws.
Oh yeah, so basically these guys here screwed there, and they're also screwed under there. So the way we got around that is we cut them here, and then we just split the wood, pulled it out, and cut the screws with a metal reciprocator, and that's how we got her. And then we're just gonna jam the other ones under there, probably screw through the top of that, and Bob's your uncle. If Bob is your uncle, or maybe he isn't, I don't know. Who cares, right? Now we got some of these guys going on. I'm gonna show you how to put those in. Put those. Never mind that maneuver there. All right, so when you get these boards on, they got a cool little maneuver. This guy, he's got a directional arrow, and he's got two tabbers. Put it in like that, so the tabbers are the spacers, right? And you just, oh yeah, then you just blast it in. But not all the way down, because you got to get another board under there. And then they link in, you jam it down.
Excellent, sir.
It's looking good. So yeah, that's how you install that maneuver. Okay, so you got this guy stuck there. What are you gonna do? He broke off, right? I'll tell you what you're gonna do. Get one of these guys, one of the claw maneuvers, right? You're gonna put the claws over top, tighten them down on it. Out she comes, guys. That's probably the smartest thing I've ever figured out in my whole life. I figured it out. I mean, probably just figured it out off YouTube or something, right? Anyway, might be more work for us in the future, right? So we're just trucking away at this point. This is when the wheels on the bus really started going round and round, right? Putting in board after board. We're crushing a bunch of soda pops. Wasn't even going to the bathroom. It was evaporating. It was so hot, right? Laying it all on the line. Out of nowhere comes Dad's friend there from the condo coming to check out the work, right? He's impressed, obviously. Who wouldn't be, right? So it's about this time that we finally figure out that taking the railing off is going to make it easier on us, and we're not going to have to work around the object, right? So that's like step number one going forward, is we got to try to remember that we got to take take things apart to get at what we're doing, right? That's the easier way to do it rather than just working around. Like, why would you work around it? That's hard, right? We want the easy stuff. We don't want the hard stuff, right? So there's a couple of things in my life that I'm particularly proud of, guys. They're few and far between, but when we're trying to pry off this front fascia piece here, I come up with the idea to go and get the car jack to push against it to pry the piece off because it's so stuck in there with nails and screws and whatnot, right? So I'm pretty proud of that. Down she goes. Now we're going to measure stuff. We already measured. Measure twice, cut once, or cut twice and measure once. I don't know which one it is, but whatever. Obviously just going to leave the time lapse going for a long time when we go inside. Make sure we just leave a bunch of tools down at the bottom that we need from the top and vice versa. Make the day go by real quick. Make sure we get a lot of exercise, right? Checking back in. It's been a while. A couple, 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks, days, hours. Nobody knows. Daw's down there. He's just putting up the, right there. That's him right there. This is Daw. That's Daw right there. This is Daw. He's putting the finishing touches up on, well, the finishing wrecking stuff touches. We're taking something apart still, not putting nothing together. Replace this guy there. We're going to replace him up there. We took the guy on the front there. We're going to put another new guy up there just to shore him up a bit. So we found out after the fact, right, that there's actually a specialized end board that you put on the thing that makes the whole thing look a lot better. I mean, it's looking great already, right? But like there's just a special board that's supposed to go on the end, but they didn't tell us that from the store, right? They just sold us all the other boards as if we're going to be making a deck that doesn't have an edge or something, right? But yeah, so here we're coming up on the home stretch. We're going to put the railing up temporary style here. We're obviously going to be taking that down tomorrow again, either because we want it to be more safe or we just like making more work for ourselves. I haven't really decided at this point. All right, so that wasn't too bad of a day. Got the whole deck done pretty much, except, whoa, look at that. Got the whole deck installed. Got the railing back in temporary style. Whoa, what happened here, right? The doors, I mean, wall, that's right. Got that guy we got to fix and deal with. Probably a barbecue. Probably got to come back out of the kitchen. I don't know. I don't barbecue, so not a bad day's work. Look at that. Look at that right there. This right there. That, this, that. What we're looking at, this, that. Anyway, one more day I'd say and we'll be done. So I'll get back at you. Like, favorite, subscribe.